But we'll talk about the practice. Of course, both of you are the chairman and you're part of the executive committee. Is it a widely practiced or is it widely studied here in Malaysia? And what are the opportunities for maybe our viewers out there to study environmental engineering? Datuk, silakan.
Okay. Well, environmental engineering is actually a field that is growing in Malaysia. Not in Malaysia, also the rest of the world. Over the last 30 years, 3 decades, Malaysia has had rapid growth. Fortunately, we've also been developing engineering, environmental engineering in these 20 to 30 years. And Malaysia is trying to find a fine balance between our fast-paced development
and growth,
our increase in population, together with the depletion of our resources, and making sure that the built environment, built surroundings, built environment all amalgamate together in an aesthetic manner.
Mesh together. Yeah.
And the Department of Environment, in fact, has actually, what I'll show you here is the Environment Quality Act. This is actually an act by law, which was instituted in 1974. It's been updated up to 2006.
Excellent.
So all developers, all anybody who wants to build a factory, anybody who wants to build a condominium,
water treatment plant,
or water treatment plant, they're required to follow all the conditions set out in the Act. And the DOE has actually also given some guidelines and requirements.
Excellent.
So these are all in manuals, and these are all in guidelines, and it's an act of law. So we have a lot of things to fall back on. But it's always a fine balance of the cost of a project. And sometimes the environmental costs are not tangible, whereas the cost of your brick and your mortar and your steel is all tangible.
Yes.
And you're always trying to reduce costs of construction. But the intangible assets, which sometimes we don't appreciate, like the impact to the environment, the impact to noise, impact to water, the increasing of the heat, heat emissions, all that is not quite tangible to somebody who wants to build a building.
Exactly. As far as the investor is concerned, I want to build this, it will cost this much and it will have returns of this much. And that's it.
Yeah, but now in the 21st century, I think people are recognizing that our socio-economic environment must be balanced with the environmental, aesthetic aspects of any development.
As practicing environmental engineers as well, do you feel that the balance has already been reached in terms of socio-economic as well as political growth, as opposed to awareness towards environmental engineering? Do they go hand in hand at this point in time?
Not enough, right?
Yeah, I would say that maybe yes and no.
Yes and no.
On both aspects. Because in terms of what we call engineering aspect, I think definitely as an engineer, we do have all the solutions, whether with whatever the best practices or with the reasons, latest the technologies aspect. I think we have no problem. Unfortunately, sometimes it's not all the right solutions or right what you call a practice has been incorporated into some of the projects. So this one could be due to some ignorance or due to certain what you call inefficiency of the what you call the certain structure. So it's not fully practiced. But in terms of awareness, I would say that in general, Malaysians what you call citizens has been more aware in terms of this what you call the environmental engineering aspect. I think in the sense that they realize anything that which has not been done correct, they will make a point to make a stand to deliver the message through. Really,
But picking up on that, environmental engineers also have it tough because they must also know points of law. Am I not mistaken? And that's also another point of contention. How much should you know about the environment and engineering and the law at the same time? Are they being practiced together? Is there a certain balance that you need to maintain and achieve?
I think the law is not an issue. It's embodied in the Act. The issue is trying to balance the costs.
It's still about money.
It's all about. It's really, really about money. And like I said, there are some good examples, but there are some things that need to be improved in Malaysia. And I think that the more of us that recognize that we have to have a sustainable development,
sustainable development, that is the key.
That's the key. I think the more of us who realize that and realize that there is an economic benefit in that. If you make your project an eco project, green project, you can actually have a premium on that. You have a premium and people are prepared to pay
a little bit extra
for a better quality of environment, for a better quality of life, for better quality of air, for less noise.
So for investors, it's a target that you should be achieving in order to receive bigger gains. It's a way of marketing yourself, so to speak.
That's right.
Environmental engineers, investors working together to achieve this outcome so far? Has it been smooth sailing, all nice? Yes or no?
Work in progress. Work in progress.
Politically correct, this lady.
I think we want more. We want more. As an environmentalist, we want more.
Definitely, I think in terms of the investor, they know that we are in the what called the midst of the world, what called the market, where many investors, especially the foreign investor, they do have certain aspect where certain what called the investment need to be fulfilled before they can actually market the products. So for example, one of the aspects is like, for example, the green buildings aspect, also called energy efficiency or reuse energy. So this is the I think we know that we having the scarcity of this raw material, or especially the energy in the world, where even our petrol has been one of our so-called general incomes, but there's the limit anytime that we be finish off the resources. So those are things, that aspect we really need to develop into any projects or any constructions. So in that aspect, I think definitely the investor will have to study to the brand in, or maybe Datuk can answer.
Supported by IEM, PAM, the Association of Architects, and the Association of Engineering Consultants, ACM, have actually put into place the Green Building Index.
The Green Building Index.
The Green Building Index. It is basically an index, like a rating, where developers can give their building a rating based on all the things I said: energy efficiency, less impact to the environment, reuse of material. So this is something that's already practiced in the USA, in the UK, in Australia, and even in Singapore. If you want to build anything, there is a minimum requirement for the index. There's a minimum rating.
All right.
So now we are trying to implement that in Malaysia.
And best of luck, especially to the both of you. It's going to be an uphill struggle, I understand.
I hope not. I hope everybody will appreciate it.
Definitely. On behalf of the Rakyat, of course, we do thank the hard work of environmental engineers in keeping things green and, of course, making Malaysia a better place to live. So thank you so much for this opportunity to speak to the both of you.
Thank you.
And, of course, it's mighty glad to know that our environment engineers are dedicated to giving Malaysia a greener and cleaner outlook towards the world as well. So keep up the good work. And for those of you who are aspiring to be environmental engineers, well, it's going to be a tough field, but with predecessors who will teach you the ropes, so to speak, hopefully you will have that same kind of opportunity to contribute towards Malaysia.